5 questions you need to ask yourself if you want to improve the quality of your trading. Welcome back. Welcome to the Traders Improve podcast. And thank you for all the great feedback and responses on the last episodes. I really appreciate it. And if you can spare a minute or two, and if you could leave a review or a thumbs up wherever you are watching or listening, I should say, this podcast, I really appreciate it. And today, this is a special episode. It is an excerpt, I think that's the word, from my trading psychology course. And in week 4, I have a lesson which is called 9 Questions for Ongoing Growth. And in this lesson, I provide a workbook with 9 questions that you need to ask yourself and that you can go through at the end of each trading week, at the end of each trading month. And it gives you a very good idea of where you are, how to improve, where your weaknesses are, and just in general a great reality check every now and then. And in this episode I will give you the first 4 or 5 tips and questions that you need to ask yourself and how to use them in your trading. So the first one where you can always start with is, am I satisfied with the quality of my trading? And the keyword here is really the quality, because we don't want to look at our percentage return. We don't want to look at how much money we made. We just want to evaluate the execution and the quality of the execution of our trading. Because as we all know, not all winning trades are necessarily good, and not all losing trades are always bad trades. So we really need to ask ourselves if you made any critical errors, if you broke your rules in a major way, or if in general you followed your rules very precisely. And I always recommend, you can do that at the end of each week. And a review, just like journaling, it should not take a lot of time because, I know from experience that those things are not as much fun. They are actually work. You need to just sit down and often force yourself to do those things. But, those are the things that really make a difference. So at the end of each week, just go through your trades one by one and just ask yourselves, you can make a list. Are you satisfied with the quality of your trades? Yes or no? And that gives you already a first very good indication. You should really check that and really evaluate, do you have more trades that are on the side, yes, I'm satisfied with the quality, or no? And that gives you a good guide of where you are. Then the next question you need to ask yourself, are you in a drawdown or am I in a winning streak? And how is it impacting my overall mood in trading, but also in personal life? So winning streaks, losing streaks, they're common, they happen all the time, and often they impact and affect our trading decisions and our mood, often subconsciously. So we really need to move this awareness into the conscious, into the tangible, where we can actually see and experience and be objective about how our trading results impact our trading. So just a few sub-questions, if you want it this way, to ask yourselves. Start with, are you in a winning or a losing streak? Write it down. And if you come to the conclusion that you are in a losing streak, take it to the next level and ask yourself, is it really a losing streak where you followed your rules precisely 100% and the trades just didn't work out? Or is the losing streak the result of just bad trading overall? And you can go back to your first answer and to the first point where you answered the question if you're satisfied with the execution and the quality of your trading. And then you can ask yourself, did my consecutive losses or winners, did it affect my approach overall? In losing streaks, what often happens is that it makes us feel unsure or scared. We are more fearful. Maybe we are scared to pull the trigger and we back out of trades easily. Can you see a pattern for that in your trading? And on the other hand, if you're in a winning streak, we also need to be aware of that, because, what happens in a winning streak? Oftentimes we get very optimistic, overconfident, and those things that will also come around and bite us in the in the behind, so to speak. Because, well, if you in a winning streak, then oftentimes we feel invincible. Then we sometimes take trades we should not be in because we convince ourselves that we can, in quotes, feel the market. We have a feeling, a sixth sense where we know what the price, or we think we know what the price is going to do. We take too big risk, and our positions, we often scale our positions up. So also be aware of that, of course. That is very, very important. Question number 3. What did I do best this week? And yes, we need to work on our weaknesses, but we also need to understand, and by the way, did you hear the sound? Always nice to hear the trading view. Price alert, silver, and E-mini futures just showed a very, very nice setup that got triggered. Okay, I'm back after checking my charts. So yeah, we need to work on our weaknesses, obviously, but we also need to understand what are we very good at so we can do more of that. And what did I do best? And for that, just look at your winning trades, first of all, and look at, okay, what was the thing that really stood out here? What did I do extremely well here? And there can be many things. It's like waiting for a trade patiently, creating a very good trading plan, adding to a trade, maybe letting winners run in a certain way, and really understand, look at it, and find out what you did well. And also look at your losing trades, and maybe you are a trader that is very good at taking losses, which is a very, very good skill to have as a trader. I always encourage my students to really become good at cutting losing trades, because then the winners will easily take care of the losing trades. So also identify or look at your losing trades or your break-evens and look at, okay, did you cut them well? Did you handle your losing trades well? That is a very good skill to have as well, and cultivate it if you can, and become aware of it, obviously. Question number 4, what is the one thing that I could have done better this week? This is a very, very good question, obviously, to ask. And again, I limit it always to one thing, because, well, we can probably, and we don't want to overwhelm us, because we can probably always find so many things we should have done, could have done, would have done differently with the benefit of hindsight. But trading, like all other things in life, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So if you can eliminate, or if you can improve one thing at a time, one thing each week, you will make so big progress over the long term, and your progress will be very specific. It will be targeted instead of you're trying to plug the holes all around you, which usually doesn't end well because, well, you are not too focused and you're not spending enough effort and time on certain things that really deserve your attention. So what is the one thing that you could have done better? And also try to look beyond the hindsight bias, because, well, when you review your trades, there's always things you could have done, should have done better, obviously, once you know what the market has done, but that's not really the point. Ask yourself really objectively, with the knowledge that I had when I made the trading decision, what could I have done and should I have done differently? And you can look at a few trades from last week, and maybe you even find a pattern that maybe one thing really stands out, one mistake or one thing that you keep repeating over and over again. And if you can find such a thing, really write it down in bold letters, put a post-it note in front of your trading screen or on your computer so that you don't forget it going forward and you're always reminded. Bring it to the conscious again. We need to always bring it to the conscious. And number 5, the last one for this episode, did I miss trades? Many traders have a problem of missing trades, or many traders believe they have a problem with missing trades. And if you find yourself missing trades too often, then it usually has one of two reasons. First, it is either that your routine is not good, that you are not paying attention closely enough. And if that's the case, then obviously you need to improve your routine, maybe write trading plans better, maybe have a better way of setting price alerts, maybe use a physical checklist or a physical piece of paper when you are trading, where you write down the setups for the day. If you're using TradingView like I do, I use the watch list feature quite a lot. And I use, as you have heard, I use price alerts everywhere to just get notified about important price movements. Or are you missing trades because you are scared and you're not ready to pull the trigger on your trades? And if that's the case, you need to ask yourself, why is that the case? Do you lack the confidence in your trading system? Or do you just not trust your system? Or what else is it? Are you in a losing streak maybe, and then you're scared? So really understand that. And when it comes to fear, I think I made a podcast before about this. It all comes down to removing uncertainty, and uncertainty can often be removed by putting in more work or just writing down and becoming clear about what is it that you're actually doing. So write down your rules, maybe create a physical checklist that helps you evaluate, is this a legit trade or not? Go through the checklist point by point by point. And if you see that you have all the criteria, then you can take that trade. And that will often help you make better decisions. Or what also is a big confidence boost is also having a trading journal. Well, which one to use? You should know that by now. I hope you all have your Edgewonk ready. Having a journal and then being able to review what you did last week, what you did the week before, what is going well, what are the best trades for you. It can also help, obviously, remove uncertainty, and it can improve your confidence when you know, okay, those trades, they work very, very well for me over the long term. And then you can remove this fear, the uncertainty, and you will hopefully miss less or fewer trades going forward. And those 5 questions alone, if you go through them, they will hopefully make a big difference in your trading once you understand what you are doing actually, because many traders don't know that actually. Just ask yourself, I've asked you this question again. Just right now, pause and ask yourself, do you remember your last 10 trades? Do you remember what you did in the last 10 trades? And if you answer this with no, you don't really know or remember what you did in the last 10 trades, it's really, really time to have a structured review process, or otherwise you're just doomed to keep repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again. And having even this little review process, it won't take long, 5 to 10 minutes at the end of each week. That is a good starting point. You will have a much, much better understanding of what it is that you're doing as a trader, where are your strengths and where are your weaknesses.